How do teachers manage appraisals? CAST Director of Research Gabrielle Rapol-Schlickman discusses creating optimal learning environments.
In the class I teach at Harvard on the emotions and learning in life, where I teach teachers about how to think about emotion in education, I often say that 80% of a teacher's job is to manage kids' appraisals. And what I mean by that is that they need to really think about all the different kids they have in their classroom and what their perceptions are of the task that is at hand in front of them. So you can take all the things that we know about the nature of the relationship between emotion and cognition, and this idea of appraisals, so how kids perceive the environment as being demanding or resourced relative to their own strengths and weaknesses, and really work as an educator to tune that for each student. Under UDL, when we think about engagement, what we're trying to think about is creating the conditions for optimal learning experiences for all children. So optimal opportunities for learning for all children. And to us, what that means is that students' perceptions of the demands and resources in the environment would be in balance with their perceptions of their strengths and weaknesses. And that would create, when you have that balanced state, that would create optimal conditions emotionally for learning and potentially for deep learning states like flow, as Mikhail Csikszentmihalyi talks about. So while it's not good to have kids in a highly activated or stressed state and have a lot of negative energy, the opposite is also the case. It's not good to have kids be either low activation with positive emotion or high activation with positive emotion. Science museums, for example, tend to have the opposite problem in getting kids engaged that school environments and classrooms have. So in the science museum context, kids are highly positive and highly activated and excited. They're having a lot of fun, but they don't learn very much. It's a huge problem. A lot of science museum educators trying to think very hard about the engagement issue. How do I slow kids down? And under UDL, what we would say is you need to think about managing the kids' perceptions of the environment. So how do I change kids' perceptions of the demands and resources in the environment relative to their strengths and weaknesses? And in that case, you might want to up the demands, so where you get kids' interest, but actually provide something that's particularly tuned that grabs their attention and sort of holds them there in that engaged state. In the case of the classroom, you may have kids who are bored or feel negative based on their prior experiences, and so what you're trying to do is push them away from that sort of either high activation and relatively high negativity, or negativity and low activation, which would be boredom, toward where they really feel like those things are in balance with each other.